Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, Hunter. Welcome back to Baseball Head 2, and hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. And if you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notification so you know when the video is going up. But we have the first signing of the 2025 offseason, and that is the San Francisco Giants. And we're still in the season, by the way. We still got about 20-something games left as we're in the first third of September. We actually had a free agent signing late last night. It was announced. The San Francisco Giants. The Giants are just basically playing out the string for the rest of the season. They did not sell when they should have sold. Everybody knew that they weren't any good, but they didn't realize that, and they did not sell any of their players. They didn't move any of their players, and they should have. And now they're basically running out the string. And there was a big announcement after the game against the Diamondbacks last night that they re-signed Matt Chapman, third baseman. He signed a 2-year deal in spring training with the Giants. And he's had a pretty good year for him. So, not a great year, but a good year. Hit some home runs, playing great defense. So, his WAR is terrific because he's such a great defensive player. And they extended him to a 6-year extension. Let me read you from the MLB trade rumors. Giants extend Matt Chapman. The Giants made a major splash overnight announcing that they've extended the contract to third baseman Matt Chapman. The deal guarantees Chapman $151 million over 6 years and runs from 2025 to 2030 with a $25 million annual salary and a $1 million signing bonus paid out in 2025. According to ESPN's Jeff Passan, Chapman's deal contains a no-trade clause. Chapman, who's 31, signed with the Giants on a 3-year deal, worth $54 million with opt-outs after each season over the offseason when he's marketed, then developed to expected levels last winter. In the months since then, it's become apparent that the first of those opt-out opportunities will be exercised. The infielder has largely quelled his doubters with his best season in half a decade. His first season in the Giants uniform has seen him post a strong 247, 343, 445 slash line, good for a 118 WRC plus in 136 games. In addition to the strong season at the plate, he's also put together his most impressive defensive season in years, with a +7 OAA and +13 defensive runs saved. It's best shown in either metric since 2021, so he had a big year defensively. With Chapman poised to return to free agency in search of a bigger contract elsewhere, the Giants have now made sure that he'll remain with the club for the foreseeable future. Their baseman's deal figures to keep him in San Francisco to the end of his age 37 season and match the 6-year, $150 million prediction MLB trade rumors made regarding Chapman's contract ahead of the 23-24 offseason almost exactly. The contract is representative of the potential upside that players who take opt-out laden deals can find if their initial foray into free agency doesn't go according to plan. Chapman now figures to ultimately walk away from his time with the Giants, having pocketed $169 million over 7 years. So, of course, this outcome required not only a healthy season from the 31-year-old, but his best overall season since 2019. By staying in San Francisco long-term, Chapman ensures that he will spend the majority of his playing career in the Bay Area. The longtime Athletic was selected 25th overall by the A's in the 2014 draft and made his debut with the club back in 2017. He'd ultimately spend the first 5 seasons of his career in an A's uniform, earning 3 Gold Glove awards, finishing in the top 10 of AL MVP voting twice, and making his first and so far only career All-Star game during that time. When the A's began a total rebuild following the 21 season, he was shipped to Toronto just before the 22 campaign began and spent 2 years in Toronto. Now that Chapman is on a long-term deal with the Bay Area's other MLB team, one of the stars of the Athletics' final playoff team, in Oakland would outlast the team itself in the community as the club stands poised to relocate following the 2024 campaign. I would mention that the A's are a nomadic team. And I was thinking about it as an aside with the Athletics. The history of the Athletics has always been to rebuild the club, sell the club, and then move. And that has been like that since the very beginning, as far back as Connie Mack. They had the great teams of the early 19-teens, 1914, 15, and they basically sold those players, weren't good for 20 years, 30 years, and then they got good again in the 30s, And he, again, Connie Mack sold these players, and basically the franchise was dormant. So they've done this before. I didn't realize that until just a couple weeks ago. I started thinking about it. That the A's have done that. That's sort of the A's MO as a franchise. They build their team up, they break it down, then it doesn't go well, and then they move. And that's kind of what the only place they were never successful in really was Kansas City. The only good thing that came out of Kansas City is that they were able to draft Reggie Jackson, and immediately after they moved to Oakland. But all the other times that they were successful in one place for many years, broke the team down, got successful again, broke the team down, successful again, broke the team down, and then moved. I mean, it's the weirdest kind of historical anomaly that you could find with a team. And that's kind of what the A's have been. Now, the Giants are a different story, obviously. Historically, one of the real great National League franchises going back to New York, winning multiple World Series when they were the Giants in the Polo Grounds. And if they won 3 World Series in the Bay Area in the last, 15 years since 2010. 2012, 2014, they've been one of the best teams, and really, I guess, a dynasty over the last 20 years. I mean, that's a good way to call them, I guess, a dynasty. To win 3 championships in 5 years, that's pretty good. They didn't need to win them back-to-back, but they had the same players. They had Madison Bumgarner, Buster Posey, Brandon Crawford, and the rest of them, Hunter Pence. They had plenty of guys there that were, really great players for that period of time. And I would think that Buster Posey is probably a future Hall of Famer. But so the Giants now have a third baseman, a guy they can build around a little bit. He's not an elite player. He's an elite defensive player, but not an elite player. But he's an elite defensive player. Now they have to get themselves a shortstop, to be honest with you. They need a bat in that outfield desperately. I would think that they will talk to Juan Soto. They desperately need a shortstop. They should look to talk to Willie Adames to put at shortstop. I know they have this kid Fitzgerald. He's 27 years old. What can you really expect out of him long term? You might want to get somebody a little more solid in terms of reputation and what they can do on the field. But this is a good signing for them. And we got the first diamond of the fall this offseason. So now we kind of have an idea. There would have been multiple teams in on him. I think the Mets possibly would have been in on him. The Yankees possibly the Giants. Who knows? I mean, the Cubs, excuse me. But he signed with a team that he wanted to be with, I guess. He doesn't move too far away from where he was prior to signing with the Cubs. But with the Giants. But this is an interesting signing for them. And like I said, he's a good piece to build, a veteran player. And he's a pretty good guy, I guess. And he knows the manager really well. So it seems to be a pretty good fit for all the way around. It's a long-term deal. It's a long deal for a 31-year-old. But you have to spend a little money to keep a player there. So let me know what you think about this video. And, of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut 2. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.